People think a well-run farm happens naturally. They see clean stalls, calm horses, tidy fences, and assume it's just the result of fresh air and good intentions. They don't see the rules underneath it all, the repetition, the boundaries that keep living creatures safe when too many humans want exceptions. Mark and I have owned the farm for nearly 15 years. We board horses, run lessons, and every so often, if the pairing is right, we breed. Carefully, thoughtfully, nothing rushed. Horses aren't decorations here. They aren't status, they're responsibility. That's probably why I never trusted Celeste. She married Mark's brother, Simon, and from the beginning she felt slippery, not openly rude, not careless in ways you could point to immediately. Just the sort of person who listens while already planning how she'll do what she wants anyway. Celeste had two horses. One was older, kind, forgiving, the horse she actually rode. The other was a stallion, tall, dramatic, beautiful in a way that demanded attention. She insisted on keeping him intact even though she could barely handle him on the ground and never rode him. He wasn't a partner to her. He was proof. I didn't like it, but I enforced the rules and moved on. Things shifted when our mare, Willow, was confirmed pregnant. Willow is the kind of horse you trust without thinking about it. Steady, quiet, patient. As her belly grew, Celeste's interest sharpened. She talked about the foal as if it were already promised to her. She said we'd train it for her, said it made sense, said by the time it was old enough to ride, her stallion would be retired anyway. I corrected her, more than once. She laughed it off, said we'd talk later, said there was no rush. I asked Simon to deal with it, gently at first, then more directly. He didn't. She'll get over it, he said. It'll be years before it's even rideable. That word stuck with me, rideable, as if that was the only measure of worth. Meanwhile, Celeste kept putting her stallion in the stall beside Willow. We told her not to, explained why. A stallion next to a mare close to foaling raises stress levels, increases risk. She nodded, moved him, and then quietly moved him back. By the time Willow was close, I stopped trusting Celeste entirely. We set up the foaling camera, something we always do. I told myself it was routine, but I checked it more often than usual. The night everything came apart, Mark was out with Simon. Just a drink, he said. Celeste had something on. I stayed home, folding laundry, the camera feed open on my phone. Willow paced, lay down, stood again. Almost time. Then the stall door opened. Celeste stepped inside. I reached for my phone to message Mark and stopped. She wasn't alone. A man followed her in, someone I didn't recognize, not staff, not a boarder. He closed the stall door behind them. They didn't look at Willow. They kissed. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I stared at the screen until my hands steadied, then sent Mark a message. Check the foaling camera. Please. My phone rang almost immediately. Are you seeing this? Mark asked. Yes. There was a pause. I heard Simon's voice in the background, asking what was wrong. Show him, I said. They were back within the hour. The stable lights were still on. Willow was sweating, pacing, her eyes showing white. The stallion was calling from next door, worked into a frenzy. I stepped into the stall without thinking, grounding Willow with my hands, my voice. Mark moved the stallion himself. Simon stood frozen, staring at his wife like she'd turned into someone else. Celeste talked. She always did. She said it wasn't what it looked like, that she felt lonely, that Simon never understood her, that the man just got horses. Simon didn't raise his voice. He asked one question. How long? She didn't answer. That was answer enough. By morning, Simon had moved into the spare room. Celeste paced the barn office, crying loudly, making calls. I told her she had a week to move her horses. She laughed, said she'd been there for years, said she had rights. I handed her the contract, unauthorized access, repeated violations, endangerment of a broodmare. The stallion left within 2 days, loaded by a handler who didn't indulge tears or bargaining. Without him, Celeste looked oddly smaller. The other horse followed a few days later. She asked Simon if she could at least keep one. He said no. Willow foaled 3 nights later. I slept in the tack room, checking the camera even though I barely needed it. The berth was clean. The colt stood on shaking legs within the hour. Mark watched quietly, then smiled. "He doesn't need a big name," he said. "Let's call him Anchor." Celeste wasn't there. Simon stayed, really stayed. He fixed fences, helped with night checks, apologized more than once for not dealing with things sooner. "I thought time would soften it," he said. "I didn't realize it was making everything worse." Celeste tried to come back weeks later, dressed carefully, voice gentle, said she missed the horses, said she'd made a mistake. I told her the truth. Trust works the same way horses do. Mishandle it, and it doesn't come back. And Willow and her foal had paid enough already. She left quietly. Anchor grew into himself, calm, curious, unbothered by the chaos that nearly surrounded his arrival. Some people mistake patience for permission, but farms have a way of restoring balance, slowly and without drama, whether people are ready for it or not.